Hey everyone, this is Armando for BlazeGig.com, and I'm joined today by Noah.
Hey guys.
And we're here to talk about today's Apple event that took place in San Francisco. That's where Apple announced the iPhone 7 and talks about their new Apple Watch. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about Nintendo. Because to a surprise to all of us, Nintendo decided to show up. And they announced their brand new mobile game. And that's Super Mario Run.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this was a huge surprise. I think everyone expected to maybe hear a little bit about Pokemon Go, just because of how big it's been. But I don't think anyone expected this.
No, I think at one point we've joked around this idea on Nintendo Unleashed, just saying that it would be great for Nintendo to be present at an Apple event.
Yeah, we've definitely talked about that.
But I never imagined it.
Yeah.
Would actually come true.
And like Miyamoto, like not some random person.
Yeah, Nintendo's creative fellow.
Right.
Yeah. So this brand new game, this is their second mobile game. We're not counting Pokemon Go because that's Niantic and Pokemon companies. So Super Mario Run, it's a free to start game. It's not free to play, free to start. So you get to start it, and if you want to buy it, you can do so, and you only have to pay it for it once. So there's no in-app purchases or anything like that.
Well, I don't know if we know that yet.
At the moment, there's none announced.
Okay, yeah, nothing.
They're probably gonna add them later on.
Right. But yeah, that's all we know right
so
now.
Far. Yeah, nothing so far. This is not an endless runner like a lot of people expected it to be. It's an auto runner.
Right.
It's kind of like that Rayman game that's on iOS.
Yeah, I think there are like a few of those actually. And so yeah, just like Rayman, there are set worlds and levels that you go through with a start and a finish, and they're not auto-generated. They're predefined. You're meant to go for high scores. You can compare those high scores with others because again, it's not random. It's all set levels. And I mean, I think it looks good. Based on what it is. Obviously, it's a much more simplified version of Mario since there's only one control. You just tap. Yeah. But I think the level designs look interesting. I'm glad they.
You can play.
Yeah, exactly. Eat a cheeseburger. Miyamoto said you can be like standing in a subway and holding like one of the poles, which I guess that's pretty cool. It's actually pretty cool that they've managed to incorporate some elements like wall jumping and things. So it's not just like jumping. They have some others, and maybe even some kind of like double or triple jump in there. I might have seen.
Yeah, I think they do, and they have some. I don't know if you saw we watched the footage that they showed at first. It looked like Mario was just hopping over the Goombas.
Right. Oh yeah. There's like weird parkour moves. Like you can jump on Goombas, but you can also like kind of leap over stuff. It's like Mario Lost World. That's what I tweeted earlier. And yeah, it looks interesting. Like we said, very simple controls. You can play with just one hand. There's a set of single player levels, and one thing which Miyamoto has mentioned in some interviews is possible connectivity with My Nintendo. He mentioned there could be some form of a friend list or an ability to share some sort of creations online. Another thing which I noticed in some of the gameplay in this multiplayer mode they have, you can see the Mii at one point. You can see a Mii character, and so it could definitely possibly tie with Mii Tomo in that way, which is of course connected to your My Nintendo account.
Actually, that would make sense. Just sign in with your My Nintendo account.
Exactly. Because every My Nintendo account has a Mii tied to it, so it would make sense that appears in Super Mario Run.
Yeah, I wonder if it's going to tie to NX in any way.
He said it's not. Again, if this time interview is to be, it could be some sort of mistranslation, but it sounded like he said it's not going to interact with NX. But he said they're considering My Nintendo.
Okay. And this game looks like the new Super Mario Bros. Series.
Yeah, it has like a very clean HD look. It looks a lot like New Super Mario Bros. U.
Yeah.
It is. And it's so funny because if you compare this to the just announced Super Mario Maker for 3DS, this one just looks 10 times better.
Oh yeah. Well, it's on an HD screen compared to the 3DS
absolutely.
Screen.
Like 240p.
Oh yeah.
Big difference there.
Yeah. So that multiplayer mode that you mentioned, it's called Toad Rally. They showed it off in the presentation at the event.
Right. It seems interesting because it doesn't seem like active multiplayer, but more of like a ghost.
Like Mario Kart.
And the way Miyamoto described it, or someone described it, it's like you're playing against your friends' like times and styles. It's like maybe it'll copy some of their abilities, but it won't be their exact like playthrough. Maybe I don't know.
And I think you have to impress the Toads. Yeah, depending on like what stunts you pull off.
Right. So that seems like it could have potential. That could be fun for players.
I appreciate that they decided to add a multiplayer mode.
Totally.
Really.
One of the big things that reasons Miitomo didn't catch on in the North American market is just a lot of it didn't really have a reason to come back. But I can tell you the App Store in North America, people love multiplayer games. If you look at like Flappy Golf or like there's this game called Bike Race, people love asynchronous multiplayer games where you're racing against each other. And so this is just another one of those in a bit of a different style, but yeah, nonetheless, that's definitely a popular thing in games today.
Yeah. So this game is currently slated to come out this December, so December 2016. Two of Nintendo's mobile games got pushed back to 2017, and that's the Fire Emblem game and Animal Crossing game that they mentioned that they were working on.
And they're going to be coming out basically, at least what they said is sometime between January and March.
So it's not that bad. At least we're getting Mario.
Yeah.
I'll take Mario first, then they can mess around with the other franchises. And because of this announcement, Nintendo's stock went up. I think it dropped again, but I mean, there was an impact on their stock. So.
Absolutely, yeah. Investors noticed this, no doubt.
I bet the investors are super happy with it.
They've been saying Mario on iPhone for so long now.
For years.
Yeah. Now, of course, there are going to be some complaining like, oh, this is not the full experience, but a lot of them are still very happy with it.
Yeah. I think this is the best way to introduce Mario into
I mean,
device.
A lot of people have been saying the runner format is kind of a cop-out, and while it isn't the most original idea, I think it works really well with Mario. Because Mario is all about platforming. Mario has auto-scrolling levels. That's nothing new for the series. So sort of making that a simpler format seems like a logical step.
Yeah. I think this game will appeal to speedrunners.
Right. Oh, yeah. And especially score chasing as well, because they do have, you can get coins in levels from stomping movements and finding them. And there's also, they have like 5 pink coins in each level, so like kind of hidden collectibles, which I love.
And they're probably going to tie it to Apple's Game Center. Oh,
that's right. Well, maybe.
They can, I would say so. Hopefully. Maybe that way you can share like high scores and compare.
Oh, good point. That's probably the easiest way to do that. Yeah, I mean, I was going to say they didn't do that with Miitomo, but that's not really as much of a game where you're sharing scores. So that would probably be a good implementation.
Yeah. And this game is coming out for iOS first, then probably hit
that. That's the other unique because all Nintendo's other apps have come out on both at the same time. This one's iOS first, although it's not iOS exclusive, just iOS first.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so in terms of the apps being delayed, like I said, Animal Crossing and Fire Emblem were delayed to early 2017. And there was also supposed to be a 5th app launching. They're supposed to launch 5 apps by March 2017, but they've now said it's just going to be 4.
Okay.
So that 5th app, if there even ever is going to be one, which hopefully there is not going to make that window. Which is kind of fine, I guess. It's just whatever.
Yeah, it's fine. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about this game real quick, or more about this game real quick.
Right, we have some questions.
Yeah. Do you think there's a lot of hype for it right now because again it's Mario, and then Apple is like promoting the hell out of it.
Right.
Do you think the hype will still be there by December?
At first I wasn't sure, but now I think definitely yes. And the key point for that I look at is Pokemon Go. I can't even remember when that game was announced. Like October?
Yeah.
Was it late in the year or something? And then it didn't release until July, so it was a long turnaround time, and it still had a lot of hype. And this game isn't even close to that long. Like, it's September now, and it's a 3-month gap, which isn't nearly as much as Pokemon Go had, if I remember correctly. So I think people will still be excited for it. And, the fact that it's free to start is always a good incentive as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I would say there will be hype for it, just because it's Mario. Mario on iPhone or on mobile for the first time.
I mean, everyone knows Mario. That's like, Mario's like Pikachu levels of popularity, probably more.
Yeah, I would say more.
Right.
And it will appeal to more people than Pokemon Go did. It's going to appeal to those older crowd that.
Oh, that's right. Because
Mario.
Yeah, and there also might be like even older people, like possibly folks that might be too literally old, or actually no, this is not either, just popped in my head. So either old folks that don't really want to go out, or even this could be very good for the disabled gamers, because I'm sure there's a ton of people who have trouble using a hand, or can't get up and go outside to play Pokemon Go. So this is perfect for them because you can literally play with one hand. You don't have to go anywhere, so it could potentially have a bigger audience. Again, Pokemon Go is amazing in terms of the amount of media coverage it got, so it might be different, but there's a lot of potential for different.
I don't think this game will get the same amount of media coverage that Pokemon Go did.
No way. It'll get a lot, but not that much.
Yeah, they will mention it once it comes out. Everyone's gonna be playing it, and a lot of news outlets are just gonna report it out. They're just gonna say, "Oh, there's a new Nintendo game from on your mobile
Mario on iPhone."
Yeah, that's gonna be their thing. So how do you think it will perform?
I think it will do exceptionally well, but in a different way from Pokemon Go again. This is a different kind of beast. So look, there's no doubt in anyone's mind that this is going to immediately shoot to the #1 top charts. And I have a feeling that a majority of people who try it are going to buy the full version, or at least I would hope so. Now, unlike Pokemon Go, it's not going to hang around on the top grossing for a long time. It might not even reach #1 at all, assuming it doesn't have more in-app purchases than we think it does. But it will certainly do a lot more than Miitomo did for exposure to Nintendo's brands on mobile. I feel like Miitomo, just looking back, was really Nintendo dipping their feet in the water, and this time around, it's a much more focused on, okay, let's have people understand that now we're producing games on mobile. And
that's the thing. Now they're making a game.
Yeah, and hopefully,
a game.
Right. Hopefully, the people that check out Mario Run will. I mean, I'm sure they've all heard about Pokemon Go, obviously, but hopefully, the people who check out Mario Run will maybe check out Miitomo if they haven't already, and maybe they'll stay tuned for Nintendo's future apps as well, which is what Nintendo wants. And of course, another big part, which I should mention, is the similar effect to Pokemon Go, where a ton of people bought 3DSs. I have a feeling the 3DS is going to have an amazing Christmas for a couple reasons. #1, this is coming in December. You know what else is coming in December? Mario Maker 3DS. If Nintendo can make a bundle, like a new 3DS XL and Mario Maker 3DS for $200 and launch it around the same time as Super Mario Run, oh man, that's going to be,
I forgot about that.
Right, so that combo could potentially do very well. Assuming they advertise them both and maybe advertise them together in some ways.
Yeah, I think it will do great. This game is going to be
it's Mario.
It's Mario. It's going to do well for them.
It's going to perform well. There's no question. It's just a question of how well, I guess.
Yeah, and it's smarter for them to go with Mario than Fire Emblem or Animal Crossing right now.
Because while their series they are growing in popularity, but they're not as they're nowhere near as popular.
Only the hardcore Nintendo fan will know what Animal Crossing is. And
well, I don't know. I mean, Animal Crossing I would say Animal Crossing is growing to a larger market. Fire Emblem, not so much. Fire Emblem, more of mainly restricted to Nintendo fans. But I've seen a lot of people who know Animal Crossing. But regardless, it is definitely true that Mario has a wider appeal.
And like we mentioned earlier, the investors are super happy with this.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So now, do you think this is a missed opportunity to not make Super Mario Run pure free-to-play? Because it's free to start, but it's not pure free-to-play. So you have to pay for it if you want it.
Right. I think a little bit, but not fully, so I'll kind of explain why. So at first, I was under the impression that you're going to have to pay to even download the app in the first place, which I think would be a big hurdle for people. I think the app would still get to #1 on the paid charts, but I don't think it would have as much staying power, maybe. Or just not as much initial user pickup. Now, the thing with it starting free, obviously that's good because it's low barrier to entry. You just tap download. But now in terms of not being pure free to play and not having all the microtransactions, presumably, while that sort of limits the long-term in-app purchase revenue, there have been instances of games which aren't true free-to-play in the past, which have just been very good. The main one that comes to mind is Angry Birds, because that was primarily a paid game, but think about how long the light version of that thing was on the charts, you know? Like, the light version was almost more popular than the free version.
Was there a light version on iOS?
Of what?
of Angry Birds?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No,
I remember when that game came out, and I bought it like when it came out before it was like super popular.
Okay, yeah.
And I paid $1.
Okay, I mean maybe the light version came out later, but I remember the light version for that game performed exceptionally well because people like free things, and I think this will be a similar situation where it just really raises awareness. And while it might not make as much money, it might have a larger positive impact in the long term, possibly. Because like I said, I think this will generate a lot more attention than Miitomo.
Oh yeah. Yeah, unlike Miitomo, that after a week nobody cared about it.
Right,
This is gonna stay for a while.
Oh yeah, I mean people love level-based games.
Yeah, and they love Mario. So.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think you could be seen as a missed opportunity, but at the same time, their current formula should work well.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's fine. I think it's just. It could be considered a missed opportunity, but since it's free to start, it's really not going to hurt them because people are still going to download the game.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And we still haven't talked about what the price point for this thing is going to be.
True, like it could be just $1. I feel like it would be more though, maybe $5. Hopefully, no more than $5.
Yeah, I'm okay if it's $4.99.
Right. No, I would be absolutely. I mean, I think like we would be willing to pay more, but the average App Store consumer would not.
Oh yeah. The average iPhone user won't pay $1.
Right. Oh no way.
Yeah. So at least, but I think they'll be fine if they charge $4.99 for it, but they have to show that this thing has a lot of content.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like $2.99 or 99 cents is fine.
Right. It all depends on how much is there, and hopefully it's a lot.
Yeah.
And last thing I want to touch on is a concern over whether Fire Emblem and Animal Crossing will be overshadowed because of this. Do you have any thoughts on that?
I don't think so. I don't think they will be. Unless they come out like a month after Super Mario Run, which I really doubt.
I mean, think about it, because Mario is coming in December, and it could potentially come a month later because they're coming sometime between January and March.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it might have a reverse effect and help them do even better. Because
I think that's what's going to happen.
Like I said, first putting out something everyone knows, then kind of putting out stuff like, hey, if you like this, we made some other games you might not have heard of, but they're very good, and hopefully a great fit for mobile. Hopefully that works out well for them. Yeah,
it will. And to what you were saying about the reverse effect, it's also going to affect. I think it's also going to affect Miitomo.
Right.
Yeah, like a lot of people are going to be playing this game, then they're going to know about my Nintendo account. They're going to make one, and then they're going to download Miitomo.
Right. Another interesting thing someone had mentioned on Twitter was that what was it? Okay, another good thing they could do is offer a bonus to people who sign up using My Nintendo, so like 200 free coins or something if you sign up with My Nintendo. That could be a great way to boost engagement for both Miitomo and My Nintendo, because they said one of their goals was to get like a certain number of My Nintendo users, right? This game is the perfect way to do that. It's a shame. Still a shame Pokemon Go didn't tie in with that, because they would hit that goal immediately, which has 500 million global downloads now, by the way, or some crazy number like that.
Yeah. By the way, Pokemon Go Niantic was at the Apple event as well, just to announce Pokemon Go for the Apple Watch.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool, but it's not Nintendo. Well, it's kind of Nintendo related, but this is more focused on Nintendo's mobile apps. So final thoughts. What do you think about this?
I think it's all positive. Any complaints I have would be nitpicks. I think this is a very smart move, and especially having it at this Apple event will give them so much exposure.
Yeah.
Like Mario jumps to the top of trending on Twitter. It has more numbers than the term PlayStation in terms of trending, which also had their event today. So I think it's just all around so smart. One of the best marketing moves they've made in a long time.
Yep.
Alongside their whole Olympic thing. If they did it at the same time, that would have been insane. Yeah. Investors would have just wet themselves.
Yeah, I agree with you. This was a very smart move by Nintendo. I was actually surprised that they actually wanted to do this.
Right, me too. It was very funny. I was in school, and my dad texted me, like, the Apple event had just started. And my dad texted me, like, oh, Mario's on iPhone. I'm like, okay, Dad. Like, I assumed he just meant, like, Nintendo games are on iPhone now, and they were talking about that, because I already knew about that. But as soon as I checked Twitter, I'm like, oh, wow. Holy crap. So yeah, definitely a big surprise, and hopefully, I think definitely this will play out very well for them.
Yep. Very smart move, Nintendo. Props to you. Also, smart move to, I would say, move the other 2 games.
Yeah.
And make space for this.
I think that's probably for the best.
Yep. So that's it. You'll probably talk more about this on Nintendo Unleashed.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So that's it for this short discussion. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you later.